Has each of my students, because they're well educated, everyone has knowledge. But how to give knowledge, information, and how to hold back information, I pay some attention to that. So I contrast how in a piece of non-fiction or journalism, you are a bit more open with the information. In piece of fiction, it's like slowly letting the fishing line out, and you hold it back and hold it back. You have to release it again, and you hold it back and you hold it.
Et tout le monde a de la connaissance, tout le monde sait des choses, mais comment, à travers l'écrit, comment est-ce qu'on peut gérer l'information? C'est une question extrêmement importante, puisque dans ce qui relève de la non-fiction, on est beaucoup plus ouvert à propos de l'information. Et dans la fiction, en revanche, on va lâcher un peu du lest, puis donner peut-être plus d'informations. C'est un jeu d'aller-retour.
Distiller l'information.
Please tell the audience that I'm going to go back to the structure point. I'm not sure I made it clear.
Okay. Nous allons revenir à la structure.
Tell them that this is supposed to be a man lying on his deathbed.
C'est un homme ça représente un homme qui est sur son lit mort.
And here is his son.
Ça, c'est son fils.
Okay? The father. So this is in a piece by a man who teaches at Princeton, and the son, the father is in a coma.
Et, le père est dans le coma.
And so the son, just to make conversation, the father is about to die. To make conversation, the son is telling him about fishing.
Et juste pour faire la conversation, son fils décide de lui parler de la pêche.
Different kinds of fish.
Toutes les sortes de poissons.
He says to his father, do you remember that little shark that we opened the stomach, took the guts out, but it slipped and it swam away, just like that.
Okay. Est-ce que tu te souviens de ces poissons, de ces requins qu'on ouvrait et dont on enlevait les entrailles qui...
He just describes. So it's a little... It becomes a presentation of a father and son bond. Many years of pleasure, seeking out pleasure, going on trips. Cool?
Okay. Donc c'est finalement une histoire d'un père et de son fils qui, pendant des années, c'est toute leur histoire de lien qui s'est construit entre les deux.
Okay. Then there is a gap. And then there is one short paragraph. Okay?
Après on a un blanc et on a un paragraphe.
He has described so far the journeys that the father and son have taken together. And he ends by talking about this one fish that when you open, you find other fish in it. Mm-hmm. Other fish that have got other fish in them.
Donc à ce point de l'histoire, il avait parlé de toute cette histoire avec le voyage du père et de son fils, et après il commence à parler d'autres choses, de ces poissons dans lesquels on retrouve d'autres poissons qui eux-mêmes ont d'autres poissons à l'intérieur de nous.
And after the paragraph, he continues to describe this fish and says about that fish that the odd thing about that fish is that it stays in place. Just say that.
Et finalement, après ce paragraphe, il continue à parler de ce poisson et du fait qu'il reste au même endroit.
It stays in place. Yeah? You leave that fish, you go away for 8 hours, you come back, the fish is still there.
Quand on laisse ce poisson 8 heures au même endroit et qu'on revient 8 heures plus tard, le poisson est toujours au même endroit.
He goes on that theme, that the fish returns. It will go, it will leave, and then it will come back right to that same place.
Et il continue sur cette histoire de ce poisson qui est à un endroit, qui va partir, puis qui va revenir, puis qui va toujours finir à revenir toujours au même endroit.
And the piece ends there.
Et l'écrit s'arrête ici.
What is the structure doing there? A man that you have loved all your life, whom you have known all your life, is going to disappear.
Un homme qu'on a connu, qu'en est-il de la structure? Finalement, un homme qu'on a connu toute sa vie, que l'enfant a connu toute sa vie, va finir par mourir.
He has been talking about fish. He has been talking about the fish within which there is the fish. So there is this, the reader has become alert to the idea of something being inside something, something being inside something. And then you receive this lesson, still about fish, but it represents all the human yearning for permanence.
Donc il a parlé tout du long de cette idée des poissons qui sont les uns dans les autres, et finalement l'histoire se termine sur cette idée de la humaine, de la permanence.
So that is one of the examples about structure. With other texts present other ideas about structure.
Et d'autres textes présentent d'autres idées à propos de la structure.
Like, for example, I play a radio piece for them. They'll sit in the class, and it's a radio piece. And what I tell them about structure is that the structure of that radio piece is anecdote, then summary. Anecdote, summary. Like, for example, if there was a radio piece about this, it would be, there's a man trying to be dramatic, speaking in English. There's a handsome young boy who translates it into lovely French. There are people sitting wondering, what the hell is happening here? I was going to say something else. And then, so there's a description, and then you have to, the camera draws back, that is abstraction. You have to say, this is an instruction about craft. Craft is a meandering through various points through which you get to your goal. Then you go on to another anecdote. For example, that man just got up and drew some bad drawings of fishes and then said this blah 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 blah, and he drew a lesson. You know? So what I'm saying is, that's another way I teach structure. When I tell my students, by listening to radio, that there is anecdote, summary, or abstraction, concrete, abstract.
Et j'ai pour habitude de faire asseoir mes étudiants dans la salle et de leur faire écouter un morceau à la radio, un morceau qui alterne à la fois une anecdote et du résumé.
And one final thing I always try to teach them is, I mean there are many things, but I'm just being short here. There was an editor called William Maxwell. He said, after 40 years, what I have learned, what is important is not style, but the breath of life.
Et il y avait cet éditeur, William Maxwell, qui disait, après 40 ans, ce que j'ai appris, ce n'est pas tant le style que le souffle de vie dans les textes.
Because I've been teaching them all about style, one way or the other. I think it's all style. And that's important. But I just want them to know that if you're not giving me life, it's dead.
Je leur avais beaucoup appris, je leur avais beaucoup donné de cours et puis d'instructions à propos du style, mais finalement je leur avais également dit que si vous ne donnez pas de souffle de vie dans ce que vous écrivez, c'est simplement mort.
You ask a question that takes 10 seconds and I give an answer that takes 20 minutes.
Yes.
What to do?
It's great. About structure, I will make you draw again.
Yes.
Can you show us how you have worked on your novel, Immigrant Montana?
Yes.
À propos de structure, je vous demandais de dessiner le bout. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous montrer comment vous avez travaillé sur votre roman?
I think you worked many years on this novel.
Yeah.
Vous avez travaillé de nombreuses années sur ce.
I've written a book. I'll answer that question. I know that. I have written a book called A Matter of Rats.
J'ai écrit un livre qui s'appelle Un problème sur les rats.
Does this look like a rat?
Wow.
An editor called me from India, publisher, and said, I'm going to do a series on cities. Book series on cities. Yours will be the first. Can you write about your town?
Et un éditeur m'a appelé en me disant qu'il allait faire une série de livres à propos des villes. Est-ce que tu pourrais écrire un livre à propos de ta ville à toi?
I'm from one of the India's oldest cities, but also one of the poorest cities.
Je viens d'une des villes d'Inde les plus vieilles, mais aussi les plus pauvres.
The Buddha, Gautama, Buddha found enlightenment close to that, so it's really poor that way, you know what I'm saying? Because poverty leads to enlightenment and wisdom.
C'est là où Bouddha a trouvé l'illumination, donc vous pouvez vous douter que c'est une ville très très pauvre.
So on the phone, when he said this, I said yes, because I immediately thought, I will write of the rats who carried away my mother's dentures. You know what dentures are?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Il a tout de suite dit oui parce qu'il a pensé qu'il pourrait écrire sur le rat qui avait emporté le dentier de sa mère.
And then the police commissioner in my town had said that all the liquor bottles were empty because the rats had drunk them.
Le commissaire de police a dit que toutes les bouteilles,
All the confiscated liquor.
toutes les bouteilles d'alcool confisquées étaient vides parce que les rats les avaient bu.
And then I thought of my sister who's a doctor in that town. The rats were biting the nurses. So they bought a machine to emit a high frequency sound that kept rats away. But the rats of my town are so clever, they cut the wire.
Donc ma sœur me disait que les infirmières étaient mordues par les rats et que c'était insupportable et on a acheté une machine qui produisait des sons à haute fréquence pour que les rats arrêtent de mordre et puis qu'ils s'en aillent. Et finalement les rats sont très intelligents puisqu'ils ont mordu les fils et qu'ils ont détruit la machine.
And then there was an officer, bureaucrat, who said we should allow rats because rats are in the field. They are not sewer rats. They are not from the gutters. These are eating our grains. The people here are poor. They don't have protein. We should put rats on the menu.
Donc on a un officier de police qui a dit on devrait autoriser les rats et les rats mangent du grain et puis on a besoin de protéines donc on devrait rajouter les rats au menu et les manger.
And then I thought that when a ship goes down, the rats are the first to leave.
Quand un bateau coule, les rats sont les premiers qui peignent.
I was that rat because my state was poor, my parents were getting old, and I was the rat that left.
Et moi, ce rat, c'était moi, puisque mon état était pauvre, et ma famille aussi, et moi, j'étais le premier à partir.
So a book is made out of one image that is related to another image, to a third image, to a fourth image, to a fifth image, and you go looking for stories. And they become stories because once you start looking at them, other stories come, or you sit down to write and other stories come to you.
Et finalement, un livre est né à partir de ces images qui donnent une autre image, qui donne une autre image, et finalement un livre, ce n'est que ça, ce sont des images qui donnent d'autres images à l'infini.
So, Immigrant, so this is a short story. Huh? I mean, in the sense that this gives you very quickly an idea. Immigrant Montana was a slightly longer, complicated story. So I just wanted to satisfy you and the audience by giving a quick answer, slightly quicker answer.
Ça, c'était une réponse un petit peu courte, mais Immigrant Montana, c'était un livre beaucoup plus long.
So, slightly longer answer. 2 minutes, you have 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
Donc la réponse sera plus longue également.
On the radio one day I heard that a wolf had been shot in a place called Immigrant, Montana.
On avait entendu à la radio que le loup avait été abattu dans un endroit qui s'appelait Immigrant, Montana.
Wolf.
Great.
And I thought, immigrant, you know, I'm an immigrant. Immigrant, Montana, I thought I will go to that place.
Et je me suis dit, un immigrant, moi j'étais un immigrant. Donc finalement, j'allais me rendre à cet endroit.
Yeah. And I got a chance to go later on. But I had misheard it. It is, the name is Immigrant. But that's good. Immigrants, I thought, always make up things, you know. So that was one story.
Le nom c'était Immigrants, et pas Immigrants. J'avais mal entendu.
Wolf, animal. And then there was another story. A childhood memory about a monkey. Huh? Is that a monkey? Yeah. About a monkey committed suicide on my uncle's balcony. That didn't really happen, but something like that happened. It was my uncle who was committing suicide by drinking too much.
Donc, il y avait une autre histoire à propos d'un singe qui se suicidait sur le balcon de mon oncle. Alors ça, c'était pas une vraie histoire. La vraie histoire, c'était mon oncle qui se suicidait.
But in the same way as I was looking for rats 1, 2, 3, the monkey story also grew because I found that monkeys were growing wild in Delhi. No?
Et finalement, l'histoire à propos du singe finit par grossir parce que je me rendais compte qu'à Delhi, les singes se reproduisent à vitesse infernale.
And I talked to someone, a primatologist, who said that monkeys were being sent for the last 3 decades. Young male monkeys were being sent, tens of thousands, to America for research and defense research.
Et j'ai parlé à un ami qui est primatologue et qui m'a dit que les singes étaient envoyés par dizaines de milliers aux États-Unis à des fins de recherche et de défense.
So, before man went to the moon, monkeys were sent into space.
Avant que l'homme aille sur les lunes, on envoyait des singes.
So, monkeys going up in space, travel, immigration. I thought, you know, a young monkey, male monkey, has an intelligence of a 2-year-old human being.
Et un singe a une intelligence d'un enfant de 2 ans.
To be sent into space, I try to think of that as an immigrant's journey.
Et le fait qu'il aille dans l'espace, moi j'envisageais ça comme le voyage d'un immigrant.
So in the same way, here there was a circulation of stories. Here there was a circulation. I began thinking about wolf, sheep, nature, man, woman. I began thinking about monkeys, immigration. So those were a couple of things. But the real story, I thought, I'm getting old. I would like to remember what it meant to be young and to be in love.
Donc là, on avait plein d'idées de loups, de moutons, de nature, les hommes, les femmes, donc je pensais à plein de choses. Et finalement, j'ai fini par me dire que la vraie histoire, c'est que je commençais à vieillir et que j'aurais bien aimé me rappeler de l'époque où j'étais jeune et où j'étais amoureux.
Because, as I say in the book, the body forgets. The body forgets even what is most intimate to it.
Le corps, comme je le dis dans le livre, le corps finit par oublier même les choses les plus intimes.
And then I also thought, that when people think about immigrants, those who are opposed to it, they will say things like they will come and take our jobs. Right?
Et quand on parle des immigrants, on dit toujours ils vont venir et ils vont nous voler notre travail.
And I didn't want to say, oh, no, we bring jobs or we create jobs. I wanted to say, but we love, you know.
Et je ne voulais pas dire non, nous n'allons pas prendre notre travail, mais je voulais dire nous, on aime, on a la capacité d'aimer.
And I thought I would investigate that, yeah. But there too, if love is to be represented as love, I didn't want it to be just my story or my narrator's story, but there were other people. As you know, you were mentioning, I found this woman, an American woman, who had been in love with an Indian revolutionary in New York, you know, and then who had gone to China and was celebrated in China. So these other stories, you know, just building up one story after another was the structure. How to find, you know, where a narrative moves, connects, and you build up a resonance. To make it a little easier to read, I thought, okay, maybe it could be love with this, love with this, love with this, love with this. But really it was keep going on, building resonance.
Et je ne voulais pas, je voulais qu'il y ait d'autres gens dans mon histoire, que ce soit pas seulement mon histoire. Et donc il y a aussi cette histoire d'une femme qui est aux États-Unis puis qui va en Chine. Et voilà, ce sont tout un tas d'histoires qui se construisent, qui en construisent d'autres. Et pour moi, on construit des histoires avec de la résonance et avec tout un tas d'histoires connexes à d'autres histoires.
Oh, let me talk about a French person, then everyone will know. Juliette Binoche. Everyone knows Juliette Binoche?
Laissez-moi parler de Juliette Binoche.
In the film, The English Patient, based on the novel English Patient by Michael Ondaatje, you see Juliette Binoche. And you hear, but maybe do not notice, a church bell tolling. Cool.
Dans le film Le patient anglais, on voit bien Juliette Binoche et on entend bien aussi une cloche qui sonne dans le repas.
A minute or two passes, something happens, and then she's, you see the church now. Cool?
Une minute ou deux passe et on finit par voir une église.
We don't know this, but our minds produce a more coherent structure.
On ne s'en rend pas forcément compte, mais notre esprit produit une image beaucoup plus importante par rapport à cet écho.
I think the process of becoming a writer is the process of recognizing what you have got one place and then another place and that echo. It's a resonance. It need not be very clear, but it is just that echo. And that's what, thematically or otherwise, that's what should happen over and over. To build a story.
Et le processus de devenir un écrivain, c'est de reconnaître cette résonance dans les choses et pour construire une histoire.
Long answer.